O Great Spirit, Namaste. Saints and sages of all times, of all places, Namaste. O ye powers that be, the air, the earth, the fire, the water, the ether, Namaste. Ancestors of our bloodlines, of all of the adopted lines to whom we attune, Namaste. Om Shri Babaji Namaha. Om Shri Lahiri Mahasayaji Namaha. Om Shri Yukteswarji Namaha. Om Shri Paramahansa Yoganandaji Namaha. Om Shri Shaliji Namaha. Om Shri Kriyanandaji Namaha. Most beloved and precious Ishta, in all of thy names and all of thy forms, Yanamaha, be with us, sweep clear the path. May we hear that which needs to be heard, speak that which needs to be spoken. May our ways be swept clear, that we might walk the path to our own enlightenment with ever greater harmony, with ever greater ease. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Namaste Ji. My heart is filled this morning with gratitude for your presence, with gratitude that we are all here, that we have the energy to be here, the health, the good health to be here, which for each of us is a blessing. Sorry, little technology needs to be taken care of. Once upon a yogi time, there was a king and a queen, and they ruled a kingdom together. Among their subjects, if you will, was a fellow who was very, very devoted to the king. One day, the queen became very ill. The king called all of the doctors in, and all of the magicians and all of the mystics in, and said, "Please help save my queen. It's not a cold, it's not a flu, we don't know what's wrong with her." One of the doctors said, "Well, there's an herb on a mountain, the other side of the country. It's a long, long way, very hard journey, very, very, very top of the mountain. Whoever goes will have to go through jungles, will have to go through mud, will have to go through desert. It's very hard to get there, but there is an herb that will save the queen." And over in the corner sits this devoted subject, disciple, really a disciple he was. And he comes up very gently to the front and says, "Please allow me to undertake this journey. I will go. And everybody looks at him and they're like, oh, really, Your Highness? This is a fool. This is a monkey. Look at him. He can't even sit still for a minute. He can't keep his mind focused on one thing. The monkey said, oh no, Your Highness, I will. I will get the herb for the queen. The king says, all right, you go right ahead. You go ahead. And then he says, we'll send backups in case you don't make it. And off goes the monkey, the king of the monkeys, perfectly suited for this trip. He went left and he ran into the desert. And he swung his way through the desert. And then he ran into the mud and he swung his way through the mud. And he ran into some bees and he walked through the bees, and some ants and he walked through the ants, and on and on and on and on, day and night. He continued to swing through, went from here to 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 get to the mountain. Gets to the mountain and stands at the base of the mountain. Climbs to the top. Thank goodness there were trees. He could climb to the top easily. And he sees this field of herbs. Wow. Oh no, what do I do? I can't remember. I can't remember which one I'm supposed to take back. What am I going to do? I came all this way. What am I going to do? I cannot remember what they told me. There's so many herbs here. What can I do? Well, he sits down. His mind on one thing only. His beloved king. And helping his king. One thing. He had gone through all of the chaos, all of the difficulties, all of the challenges for one thing. Because his king had asked him for help. What do I do? Well, I don't know which herb it is. Why don't I just take them to the mountaintop? And with all of his strength, he picks up the mountaintop, the whole herb field. And flying back to his king, he carries this whole herb field back, this whole mountaintop. Gets back to the kingdom after going through again all the deserts and all of the trials and tribulations. But this time it was easier. You'd think it would be harder. But he had what his king needed. He knew he had the one, someplace among all of these herbs, was the one that was going to cure the queen. He comes, and the mountaintop, as you can imagine, is so big, you can't bring it into the castle. So right out in front of the castle, he comes back and he plops the mountaintop down and goes into this king and says, I'm sorry, I couldn't remember. Just as he says, I couldn't remember, everybody starts saying, I knew it. I told you he couldn't remember. I told you, look, the queen's going to die. It was a waste of time. It was a waste. Look at him. I could remember nothing, my beloved Lord, but that you needed an herb on the mountain. And so I brought you the mountain. I brought you the herb field at the top of the mountain. I'm sorry, I didn't know which one you wanted. dead silence. Well, that set them all aback, didn't it? And he said, Your Highness, it's right out here, right in front at the front door. It's too big to bring inside. And the king turns to the doctors and says, Do you think you could go with my beloved Hanumanji, my beloved devoted disciple? And he will carry you where you need to go so that you can find the herb that the queen needs. And one doctor runs up and says, Yes, I'll go. And they walk out, and there's the mountain top. And the doctor can see the color, the beautiful indigo herb at the very top. And he asks Hanumanji, Please take me up. And Hanuman does. They find the herb, and wouldn't you know it, they take it in, wave a little bit under the queen's nose, rub a little bit on her body, boil a little bit so she can drink it, and she's healed. But what healed her? Was it the herb? Or was it the blessing of the devotion, the single-pointedness of that beloved disciple who went through everything, who in its nature was this way and that way and this way and that way? Just like you and me, right? The mind says this and this and this, I want 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 that. What we need is one thing, my beloved, one thing to focus on. Hanumanji, it was devotion. It was devotion to his Lord. For some of us, it's devotion to an ideal. This is the time of the year in the United States of America where people talk about freedom, where they spend a lot of time talking about freedom, celebrating freedom, thinking about freedom. But very rarely do people stop, like we need to stop, and say, what is freedom? You look up the definition of freedom, and it says to be able to do what you think, what you wish to think, to say what you wish to say, to behave how you wish to behave, without any impediments. Sounds like chaos to me. That sounds like absolute chaos. I don't know if you remember, but in the 1970s, a little few decades ago, there was a political change in Romania, one of the countries along the European continent, and the king of the country, or the dictator rather at the time, was overthrown. And so for a while there were no rules in place, and the laws were dissolved away momentarily. It was really momentarily. But what happened? The first thing that happened is people decided if there was no rules in place, they were going to drive the way they wanted to. So they come to a stop sign, they don't stop, go right through. Guess what happens? I'm going this way, you're coming this way, boom, boom, we have an accident. The rate of accidents increased 100% in the short time that there were no rules in place, because everyone felt they were free. They were free from doing that which had been imposed upon them. Now, there are many times where we have rules imposed upon us that we don't care for. But that was chaos. That was chaos. Not much different than many of the circumstances and situations that we are living with today. If I say to you, you're free to do whatever you want to do, and your next door neighbor wants to do exactly the opposite of what you want. You want quiet in your gardens, and they want fireworks all night long. Who wins? Who's free? Generally speaking, the person who wants the fireworks is free. What does it mean for you? What does it mean for me? What is it that we need to stop and say, what is freedom? And what do I really need to be free of? Well, in Kriya Yoga philosophy and practice, it's very simple. Very simple. Not complicated at all. The only thing that confines us, that confines you, that confines me, is the chokos, the emotionality of our mind, the chaos that rises in the mind with the emotions. That's all. The mind becomes sad. We feel sad. The mind becomes angry. We feel angry. We become seized by these emotions. As they relate to the planets are always called the seizers, that which grabs a hold of you. The emotions rise just as the thoughts rise. The emotions are thoughts. You see something that pleases you and your eyes sparkle and you become joy-filled. You see something that displeases your mind at that moment for whatever reason, and the mind becomes emotional. It shouldn't be like that. They shouldn't have that. Or I want what they have. And these emotions take over your awareness. And this really is the part that I want to express to you so carefully today. There will come a time for all of us, where the body's not working so well. And the feelings that arise, the emotions that arise are fear, sadness, worry, concern, pain, physical pain, emotional pain. Emotional pain because things have changed and we're unsure about how they're going to be, or they're not the way that they were, they're not the way we would like them. We need, through all of this, to say and to know, what is it that I can hold on to so that I am not overwhelmed by this fear, that I am not overwhelmed by this emotion, that I am not captured or seized by this, that regardless of my circumstances, I have a choice. No one can take from you your choice to practice at this moment. No one can take from you your choice to develop the skill of single-pointedness at this moment, so that when you need to have that single-pointed devotion, you will be like Hanumanji. You may get to your destination and you may say, I don't remember. What is the single thing that I can hold on to? What am I free to choose? That when I am tired and worn out, the body is tired and worn out and not feeling well and in pain, or whatever the circumstances are, I don't need to list them. You know, you've all been through times in your life that are challenging, when it seems as if every turn there's an obstacle. We need to be able to see through those times and see the light, and to find the devotion, to find the way to know that we are free to choose our thoughts at that time. Now, somebody was talking to me the other day, and that person is expecting to go into hospice very soon. And she was concerned, very concerned about her capacity to keep clear thinking. Now I understand, well, I'm going to need this medicine and that affects my mind. What can I do? You may say, well, that's not me. That's not going to happen. And I would say, well, okay. What about today for you? What about last week, yesterday? When your mind was so absorbed in some event, some hurt, something that someone did to you, that your mind was seized. Maybe it wasn't seized by medicine, but it was seized by something. And you felt as if you had no way to see through it. You felt as if there was no clarity. You felt as if it was never going to end. And here it is today, and it has ended. You felt as if your mind was filled with confusion, and you worried. Well, at this moment I feel great, but tomorrow I don't think I'm going to feel so good. What does one do when one is at the moment like that? What's the freedom? What is the freedom that you have? You have the freedom to choose, to practice. The one thing. What is that one thing for you? I don't know. So what good is this, right? No. Of course. One of the blessings, the great blessings of Kriya Yoga is that there are many techniques, there are many practices, all at the goal of allowing you to free yourself from the confinements of life. And what is it? What is the one thing we want to free ourselves from? Karma. The karma that has seized you in the moment. The karma that has taken possession of you as if you're a wild monkey on a wheel in a cage going round and round and round and round and round. And you say, oh, maybe I should remember the river, sitting by the river and watching the river with its eddies just flowing by, flowing by, flowing by. Maybe my mind should be like the river, flowing by, flowing by, flowing by. You are always free to choose. But there is no doubt that what you do now to practice, what you do now to prepare yourself, what you do now to create the habit is what's going to help you through the high tides, what's going to help you through the dry spells, what's going to help you through walking on the rocky shoals, what's going to help you through the changes in your life. They will come. They will come. The joy will flow in. The happiness will flow in. Maybe that's where you are today. But also, the difficult times will flow in. You won't get the investors that you want in your business. Your dreams won't come to fruition the way that you initially imagined them to be. But they will be greater and more wondrous than you could have imagined in time. So there are several things that can be done. Today we will walk through a meditation together. That will be of help. That can be done regardless of the time that one is in. But I'd like to give you today a very special practice and an affirmation. Let's see how I'm going to do this, excuse me. I'd like you to look carefully, if you will, at the Om in the center of that white square, you see first there is what looks like the letter 3. That's the Ah, the Sanskrit Ah. Coming off the middle of that is a swirl, if you will. That's the Sanskrit U. At the top of it is a crescent, and that's the Sanskrit M, 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 M. And coming off of that is a little dot, a bindu, and that is the Sanskrit sustaining sound. All right, so now look at this. All right, here it is, if you will. The top is the Ah. The swirl is the U. The crescent is the large M. And the dot is the sustaining small m. All right. Ah, oo, m, m. And then you see the Om is the way it's pronounced, written on the far right-hand side. The Ah with the oo attached, the M is above it with the Bindu. The Bindu is a way that it is written to sustain that sound, to sustain the M. So it's a grammatical mark to sustain the M. All right. Now, I'm going to give you an affirmation. And as we say this affirmation, this is something that if you use this every day, morning, midday, evening, carry it with you. All right? Keep repeating it. And then we'll come back to the Om, because it links to the Om. Now, the affirmation is, I shall now embrace strength on the path of maturity. I shall now embrace concentration on the path of maturity. I shall now embrace awareness on the path of maturity. I shall now embrace detachment on the path of maturity. Simple, right? Well, if you take this and you remember SCAD, strength, concentration, awareness, and detachment. It's easy if you remember SCAD. Right? Here you go. SCAD. SCAD. I think I need to turn this around here. There we go. This is easier. Strength, concentration, awareness, detachment. Strength, concentration, awareness, detachment. SCAD. going to do the affirmation together, all right? Then you're going to build A-U-M-M. A-U-M-M. And link it to SCAD. Very, very simple, but very extraordinarily powerful method. It allows you to take this affirmation and create a bindu. So you're taking this thought form of strength, concentration, awareness, and detachment, and you're consolidating it. Strength, ah. Concentration, ooh. Awareness, M. Detachment, Om. Om, Om. Thus, you chant the affirmation, you remember the affirmation, you repeat the affirmation. You build A-U-M-M. You bring it together in the Om. The sound that the universe makes as it breathes, the sound of all reality, Om. One thing, my beloved, one thing. You have taken all these disparate thoughts and you've brought it down into one, and you hold it here at the sun center, so that when the mind is distracted, when the mind is chaotic, it can come down to one thing. When the mind is tired, when there is no energy, when you can think of nothing else, you can think of Om. With light, with love, with support, with strength. Now the affirmation is, I shall now embrace strength on the path of maturity. And when my guru first gave me that, we were doing a recording and he first gave it, and I said, Guruji, is this path of maturity? How do I know when I've reached it? And he said, when you take your last breath in this incarnation, and you then will take it to the next. The path of maturity is your walking the path of wisdom, my beloved, your whole incarnation. And this is one of the methods that will take you to the next incarnation. Take you with all the wisdom that you have, all the love, all the joy, all of your good deeds and all of your goodness. You will have consolidated it down into one thing, one packet, if you will, of self-conscious awareness. For you are free to soften your karma. You are free to not interfere in the lives of others. You are free. We cannot all. Freedom is not doing what we want to do. Freedom is not doing what our mind wants at any given moment. That is not freedom. That's letting the mind run amok. Freedom is not judging what our parents are doing or our siblings are doing or our neighbors are doing and wanting them to do differently. Freedom is not being angry because a family member moved someplace and we think that they should stay with us or live their life the way that we want them to live. No. It may be hard emotionally, but we must choose to say they should be free to live their lives as they feel is best, as they think is best. So I can also. So nobody's going to come and say to me, well, Pranananda ji, I think you should be doing blah, 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 blah. No. You want to be free. You want to be happy. You need, I need, we need to be able to free ourselves of the fluctuation of the emotionality of the mind. Or I could have said this 40 minutes ago. My guru used to say to me all the time, don't be so emotional, Swamiji. Don't be so emotional. Yeah. This is a way to free yourself from being captured from the emotions of your mind, to truly be free, to find happiness and enlightenment. And now we are going to enter into a meditation together, all right? And just remember, as I give you the affirmation, I'm going to give it to you again, but take one last gander at this A-U-M-M. A-U-M-M. Om. Keep that in your mind's eye. Now, if you'll sit with your spine erect and your hands in the Om Mudra, the index finger and the thumb together, and the other 3 fingers pointed towards your spinal column. The hand should be on the cupped upward on the thighs. And turn your head to the left, exhaling twice. Bring the head back to the center and begin to watch the breath. With the next inhalation of the breath, pull the energy from the limbs of the body to the trunk of the body. From the trunk of the body, pull the energy into the spinal column. From the base of the spine, pull the energy up to the sun center. Move that energy as a golden ball of light out in front of you. Expand it. And sweep that golden ball around you to the left. 3 times, encasing your entire being in golden light. Expanding that golden light. Ascend. Ascend upward. Above the room you're in. Of the building. Above the continent. Above the earth plane. Ascend as high as you are able to the high place. Om Namo 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 Reaching that high place, find yourself in the grove of the meditators, your sacred place. You're safe and comfortable. Now in your mind's eye, you see a mountaintop. Gazing upward halfway up the mountain. In the distance you could see a light shining upon a shrine. begin to follow the path up to the shrine. You enter a forest and ascend. See the light dappling through the trees as you ascend. You come to a high meadow. You cross through the meadow. Be aware of all of the beings there. The flowers, the butterflies, the birds. The light shines brilliantly as you ascend. You reach the high forest. You enter the high forest. The smell has changed. The firs are here. The pines, blessing each of your steps. The light grows brighter. You come to a grove. The light is radiant, shining from a shrine. As you gaze at the shrine, you feel it is perfect for you. Enter the shrine, breathing in the radiant light. Walking to the back of the shrine, you're drawn to the pool of light, fed by the waterfall of light. Enter into the pool of light. And at this moment, feel all of the old dissolve away. All of the difficult karmas, all of the hurts, the confusion, the chaos of the mind dissolve away. Stand under the light, the waterfall of light. Feel that light pouring upon you, around your body, through your body, saturating every cell of your being. The light pouring upon you, blessing you, filling you, washing free all of the difficult karmas, all of the challenges of the past, all of the hurt. Freeing you and filling you with light. Breathe in the light. Become one with the light. Feel yourself lifted by the light. As you walk forth from the light of the waterfall, you realize your being is radiant. You walk towards the pool and you realize new clothing, newness all around you. Breathe in the light. You are the light. Thou art one with the light. Leaving the shrine, staying in the high place, you ascend to the top of the mountain. No effort, no stress, no strain. At the top of the mountain, you can see clearly. You can hear clearly. Focusing your attention at your mind's eye. Silently repeat these words and radiate them to the mountain so they echo off and return to you. I shall now embrace strength on the path of maturity. I shall now embrace concentration on the path of maturity. I shall now embrace awareness on the path of maturity. I shall now embrace detachment on the path of maturity. In your mind's eye, see S, C, A, D. Strength, concentration, awareness, detachment. 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 Now, focusing your attention at the sun center, the point between your eyes, the Ajna chakra, the Agya chakra. Take a golden pen of light and draw the Ah. I shall now embrace strength on the path of maturity. Adding the U onto the Ah. I shall now embrace concentration on the path of maturity. Adding the M. I shall now embrace awareness on the path of maturity. Adding the Bindu. I shall now embrace detachment on the path of maturity. Again, with the golden pen of light, drawing the Ah, strength. Adding the U, concentration. Adding the M, awareness. Adding the Bindu, detachment. Again, Ah, strength. U, concentration. Awareness. Detachment. As you see the golden radiant Om at your sun center, feel the affirmation becoming one with the Om. The Om becoming one with the affirmation. Om. Drawing again the golden Om. Ah, U, M, You will see, you will feel, you will perceive the Om at the sun center. softly chant the Om, holding that image at the sun center, holding that feeling state at the sun center. Om. 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 Bringing the golden light of Om to your spinal column. See the Sushumanic channel, the center of your spine. Feel the Om, the golden light of Om pouring down your sun center as radiant Anandic bliss. Om. 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 The Om pouring down your Sushumanic channel, pouring the light into every cell of your being, into the trunk, into the limbs, radiating out from your being, the golden bliss of an Om. Holding that feeling state, let us gather together and send forth our blessings unto life. O ye powers that be, join with us as we share these blessings. Radiate forth your light, your blessings. Most beloved and precious Ishtadevata, in all of thy names and all of thy forms, whatever chosen form each soul has, join with us, O Lord of life. Send forth thy blessings. Let us use the Om Ananda mantra. Om Ananda, to send forth our blessings. First, let us send blessings forth to Mother Earth, to Mother Gaia. Send the light around her, through her, upon her. And let us chant the Om Ananda 3 times. Om Ananda. Om Ananda. Om Ananda. And just chant Om 3 times. Om. 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 Let us hold in our mind's eye, send forth blessings to all of those in need upon Mother Earth. For all of those souls living with sickness of mind, of body, of spirit. May their beings be balanced. May they have that which is needed. Om. 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 And now 3, Ananda. 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 O ye powers that be, send forth thy blessings to those souls living with water insecurity, with food insecurity, with housing insecurity, with financial insecurity. For those souls living in war, in drought, in famine, amongst hurricanes and tornadoes and volcanic eruptions. May all of those beings in need be blessed. Thou knowest better than we that which is needed. Send forth thy blessings, it is needed most, with ease and harmony and swiftness. Om. 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 Ananda. 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 O ye powers that be, we know there are needs upon the earth that our minds cannot conceive. We call upon thee to send forth blessings to all of those in need, filling their needs in a most harmonious and speedy way. May our blessings be a blessing unto them at this moment, in the ever-present eternal now. Om. 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 Ananda. 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 Da, da. Be thou blessed, be thou blessed, be thou triply blessed. Accept the blessings that are pouring forth to thee from life. Accept them, draw them in, let go of the old, and sup upon the bliss of life, the beauty of life that is present every moment. Remember the Om. Strength, concentration, awareness, detachment. A-U-M-M. Remember the Om. Let the light of the Om shine forth upon thee. Remember, beloved Hanumanji, the Om is your mountaintop. It contains all that you need. Om, Om, Om. Om Tat Sat Om. Om, thou art. Om. Namaste. 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 Namaste, Ji. What a blessing. What a blessing you are. Each of you. You have brought forth your spiritual energies, and you continue to make a difference. In, I think, 2 weeks, I'm not sure, I have to check. On the 21st of July, we will have on our Sunday meditation. Next week, it will be the normal meditation. On the 21st of July, we will have Guru Purnima, a day to honor our teachers, a day to honor the gurus. And so we'll have a special, probably 90 minutes that day with meditation and mantra, and a number of Pranananda's disciples will be speaking about the guru-disciple relationship and the lineage, the tradition of our oral lineage. So it should be very meaningful, and I would invite you all to continue to join on that day. But I thank you for your blessings. I'm going to do something a little unusual this afternoon. I'm just going to ask, because of this special practice I gave today, are there any questions that anyone has about this practice, the SCAD practice? Because it's a very important Kriya practice. So if you have any questions about it, merging it, or any Kriya questions you'd like to ask at this moment, just unmute your line and ask.
You say this is an excellent practice for the morning, noontime, and evening. Does this mean sunrise, noon, and sunset?
You know, I really love you. Your mind is good. It means when you wake up, what you consider to be midday, and what you consider to be the close of the day. Now, it can be done at sunrise, at high noon, and at sunset. And the tradition would say, if I were being very literal, the tradition would say, you get up and you do it sunrise, noon, and sunset, yes. But really, what you're looking to do is you're really looking to make sure that you do the practice. So as soon as you wake up, you do it. Now, what I didn't say is that when you take this SCAD practice, in a very short while, with intent, with will, you should be taking it into your dream states. So if you wake up in the middle of the night, you will find yourself repeating, I shall now embrace strength on the path of maturity. I shall now embrace concentration on the path of maturity. I shall now embrace awareness on the path of maturity. I shall now embrace detachment on the path of maturity. Or you will find yourself saying strength, concentration, awareness, detachment, or Om, Om, Om. Remember that Om is the totality. It's the sound of the entire universe, all the totality, into a bindu, into one thing. And so by taking this affirmation and shrinking it down, you're shrinking it into the one thing. But the goal is to reach the point where it's not just 3 times a day, but that you have had the experience of having it become an all night and all day. So when you're walking around during the day and you're making your bed or you're doing your dishes or whatever, instead of thinking chaotically, your mind is going back to this affirmation. Okay? Thank you for asking the question, Shanti. Any other questions or thoughts? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the blessings. If you have any questions that come up with the practice, just ask. It is the building of the ah, the oo, the m, and the m. It sometimes takes a little while. Some of you I know have been working on this and have done this for in the past. I gave it to you today really as a particular blessing to help you to vivify your powers of concentration at this moment, to help you to vivify your practice now, when you have the strength, when you have the ability to do it, so that later on, if there's a challenge, you've had, it's there, it's a habit. You don't have to be worried about it, but you have gathered the energy to bring it to oneness. As we go into this next week, on the 15th, the Mars will be coming up to conjunct Uranus in Taurus. So what does that mean? I know it can mean a disruption in Earth life matters, as many of the people who are living through the hurricanes now in the southern part of in the Caribbean and Central and South America. It can mean you having some disruption in your thinking, in your everyday awareness, in the way that you think about your everyday life. So I would say to you, just walk with gentleness, walk with compassion, walk with kindness, and walk with love, as I can feel that you do. Namaste ji. Namaskar. Thank you for the blessings of your presence. Shanti.